Pepe walks through school getting bullied by everyone around him. Pepe is scared to get up and try to become better. He'd rather sit down and watch self-improvement videos and waste his time that way instead of doing the hard work. He lays in his comfortable bed and continues to scroll and scroll and scroll. He knows what he's looking for. Wait. Pepe, what are you doing? Pepe, no! Not again! There's this kind of like psychological, physiological task that a bunch of people do called exposure therapy. It's essentially a way for you to get a bit more comfortable with your fears, like situations, activities, or things that you're scared of, that you're actually scared of. It's usually used with people who have post-traumatic stress disorder, so PTSD. The idea with the task is to essentially, right, so imagine you are scared of rejection. This is something we're going to talk about. Imagine you're scared of rejection. You'll slowly, gradually make your way towards getting more and more rejected. It's a weird thing, but it's like the more that you get rejected, the less scared or fearful you'll be of rejection. So you start off with something small where it'll be, okay, you might hit up the girl that you like online. You simply send a DM. Because then you've thrown yourself into the ground, into the play area of simply, you could get rejected or you could get accepted. So you've put yourself at risk of rejection. But it might not be that great of a risk. It might be a little small. So now, what you're going to do, depending on whether the outcome, doesn't matter. If you get rejected, then the more the better. Because that means that you're gradually exposing yourself to the rejection. But the thing is, you're not supposed to expose yourself to the actual getting rejected itself. You're exposing yourself to be put into the situation where you're comfortable with the outcome that you could be rejected. If you get what I mean. That doesn't mean that every time you go into it you think, oh, I'm going to get rejected anyways, because that's a bad mindset to have. You should go into the interaction with the mindset that you're not going to get rejected. But you should have the awareness that you could be rejected. And the more that you do that, the more that you throw yourselves into those grounds where you could be rejected, the less fearful you'll be of throwing yourselves into those positions. I'm going to try my best to not waste your time as much as possible in this video, other than now, where I'm just going to waste it just a little bit. For anyone new, my name's Vanch. I have to be a YouTuber, so I want you to go down and click onto I always fuck this up. I always mess this up. I can't speak English. I want you to go down, click on the subscribe, click on the subscribe bar. The subscribe and the post notifications, so you can see more videos like this, more of my videos specifically, because I want you to watch my videos, and so I can get more views, I can get more subscribers, more money. I also want to see you do better. So click on the subscribe, post notifications. Win-win for the both of us. I don't know why I struggle to say that. It's a win-win, bro. It's a win for you. More of a win for you, and then there's also a win for me, so do it. Us young men fear failure, rejection, and disappointment more than anything. We don't want to fail at the things that we're trying. We don't want to become a disappointment to the people around us. And we don't want to get rejected by the things that we're actually trying to do. So the easiest way to avoid those things is to stay where it is comfortable. Stay where everything is easy. To stay where everything doesn't have the risk of something negative happening. If we stay in that position, we stay in our mother's care, we stay in that natural position where we think we should be, then there is no risk. And there's no point of stressing about failing or getting rejected, because we haven't thrown ourselves into the playing ground to have that happen. But what you notice is that if you stay in that kind of mindset where if I stay here then I can't get affected by anything, you won't grow as an individual. You'll become a man-child, which is the worst thing that you can become. Where essentially you don't know how to take responsibility. You don't know how to accept the negatives of life. And when I'm telling you right now that if you don't learn to accept the realities or the harsh realities of life, then it's going to hit you like a fucking truck. You know how when you have a really good idea and you tell your parents about it, and they start, comforting it, going like, oh, this is a great idea. This is so good that you should do this. That doesn't happen anymore. People are real. People are harsh. You bring an idea and it's not a good idea, people will tell you. They'll say it straight to your face that, no, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to do that. And the reason I know this is because it's happened to me so many times. And it hits you like a truck because you don't expect it. You don't expect people to be so harsh and so real. And the problem with staying in this comfort zone, staying in this place of non-movement, stasis, where you're basically just in the same place all the time, you will see no improvement in yourself, and you won't be able to handle the harsh realities of what there is to come. And I know that might be a bit difficult to understand now, and maybe you do have a bit of time until you get to that point. But if the more that you get used to it now, the better it is for you in the future. And delayed gratification, as much as it doesn't seem like a really good idea, like, oh, I need to enjoy life, you know, I need to enjoy every moment where I'm alive. But when you use like instant gratification activities to waste your time and to stay in your comfort zone, and to not do those things is difficult. So doing those things is staying in your comfort zone. So if you decide, okay, I'm not going to wank off, that's where you're going to go into that zone of discomfort. And we don't want to do that, because if we go into that zone of discomfort where, okay, I'm going to stop doing this, if we fail and we then realize that, you know, the thing that we were trying to do, we didn't end up doing, we feel really bad about ourselves. And when we feel bad about ourselves, we then resort back to the instant gratification activity. So it's an endless loop. The only way that we avoid this loop is to help our bodies adapt, to help our mind adapt. Humans were built for adaptation, to get ready for wherever it is to come in the future. And wherever it does come in the future, we learn to live around that. So how do you learn to live around the difficulties, the hard work, the failures and the rejections? Well, you just expose yourself to it. You want to get rid of the fear of spiders. You expose yourself to more spiders, where to eventually it hits a point where you aren't that scared of them anymore. So how do you get rid of your fear of failure, your fear of rejection? You just expose yourself to that atmosphere of rejection and failure more. So what does that mean? That means go out and put yourself in the ballpark to fail. That means go try a new skill. You won't be good at the skill, you're gonna fail. The more you fail, the better you'll get at it. That's when you learn. How do you get rejected more? Have more ideas, have more things where it gives the other person the option to either reject you or to accept you. And the more you put yourself in that position, it could be, oh, I have this project that I want to do. You should work with me on you should work with me on it. And see what they say. I want to ask this girl out. Go ask her out. See what she says. You want to get this thing. You want your parents to get you this one thing. You don't know what to say, but you think that they're going to say no. But if you go up to them and ask for it, they might say yes. But you've thrown yourself into the ballpark of rejection. The more you do these things, less likely you'll be afraid of getting rejected. Exposure therapy is an incredibly powerful technique that's been developed into literally cutting down your fear of anything that you don't want to do. So if you gradually, progressively overload and throwing yourself into these ballparks where you have given yourself to someone to give you either rejection or acceptance, or to see whether you fail or you succeed, that is a great position to be in, because that's where you learn and that's where you grow. So throw yourself out there and gain those experiences. And then you can slowly cut down your fears on failure and rejection. And that's how you slowly improve. That's how you grow. So hopefully that's been helpful, and hopefully that's something that you start doing so that you see a little bit of growth in yourself. Hope that was... I can't speak. Thank you for listening, man. Go get that shit. Love you.